Today's episode is brought to you by Calm. Calm is going to get you relaxed and feeling good. Also, today we're brought to you by Honey. Honey's going to save you money online. And we're also brought to you by Tushy. Hello, Tushy. Looking out for your butt. Now let's jump into this podcast. Hello, everybody. It's time for Cosmo and Crendor.
This is Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the Crendor in the morning. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Not only is this the newest episode, but this is officially the 10-year episode.
Yep. People were wondering what we're going to do different. 3 ads is what. You're welcome.
Listen, we had to make up the COVID ad that we missed because I had COVID, all right?
The little victories. It's 10 years, 3
People
ads.
are like, you can like play games, you do a live broadcast, you can bring Dan on, you can like do all this. Like, yeah, we could. It's like, oh yeah, well.
I'll be honest, I forgot until you just told me. So
yeah, no, it's pretty fitting, to be honest. I actually went back and was like listening to some of the old episodes, and I can't stand them. Like, I genuinely, I think it's just
what about
myself.
them? What about us suck so bad you can't listen?
It's not even you. You are like the same. But I'm like, I don't know. I hate the way I talk. I hate the way, I'm like a dick. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I have this like kind of pompous like, ooh, and I hate it. I want to like punch myself.
You aged up. I think 10 years, you have changed as a person. Both you and Toast have matured and grown, and I think it's very sweet and lovely. Me, not at all. Nothing has changed about me. I've watched the two of you go from like young adults to full adulthood, and now you're like in your prime, and I'm over here like still the biggest goober who ever was.
Yeah, plus, I guess you're like 8 or years older or whatever. I don't remember what it was. So, like, you've already had your, like, kind of maturing into who you were phase. I was still, like...
I know, that never happened to me.
I was still just dumb, young, taking my feeling good health for granted, you know? God, I had no pain.
Yeah, you didn't. Life hadn't worn you down yet. You're still living for the moment.
I was, but you know, I wouldn't be Buff Door without that past.
That's what I'm saying. It's the road that you walked made you who you are today.
Yeah, that's true.
I skipped that road. I went a separate path. I saw some swing sets off the distance and went that way.
It's actually funny. If you could actually see this in my WoW levelings. You can see the like maturation of me, or just the life part wearing me down.
How long have you been doing WoW
leveling? I think like 9 years.
WoW leveling Crendor. I'm looking up right episode 1. Shut up.
Yeah. What is it?
December 9th, 2012.
Yeah,
2012.
That's almost 10 years.
Crendor.
It was right after we started this. Nice.
My favorite part is WoW Leveling Episode 1, December 9th, 2012. WoW Leveling Episode 156, June 22nd, 2020. That's so fun. You know what? I can actually see you slowing down, though, because 156 was 2020 and 166 was 2022.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I should just do a 30 minutes of the new like event they added. I'll get like 20 levels from that. That thing's easy to level. But if you listen to my intros, I did this on stream like a while ago, but if you listen to my intros, the first episode, I'm like, hello, everyone. Welcome to WoW Leveling. And here I am, Crendor, and we're going to partake on an adventure. And then I'm just like, ooh, hello, everybody. And then I'm like, hey, everybody, it's me, Crendor. And then I'm like, hey, everybody, it's me, Crendor. And I'm like, yo, what's up?
I'm positive you went through puberty during this because the first episode, everyone just Google WoW Leveling Crendor. It will bring up all of them, but the first episode will be the first one that appears. Yeah. And just click that, and I swear to God, take Crendor's voice right now, pitch it up about 5 octaves.
That's what I'm saying.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's me, Crendor.
Go from like episode 1 to like 50. Just go in 50 chunks. Go 150, 100, 150, and you'll see the progression.
This is amazing. This really is like this is a time capsule, my dude.
Yeah.
The first one, I swear, first one is hello everyone, it's me, Crendor. And then if you go to 166, it's like hello everyone. Hey, how's it going? It's me, Crendor.
It's like that with Cox and Crendor too. It's
Sure.
like it's the
right,
same
now I get it.
progression. But and then just God, I said, God, there's so many like dumb things I said. Like if I said anything dumb, if you go back and listen to these and you're like, Crendor, why did you say that? That was so dumb. I'm sorry. I would punch myself. Like straight up. I would beat myself up from back then.
I think there's a lot of dumb things everyone said, but also it's because, again, we were growing and we were maturing as people, and I'm a little further behind than every other human being. That's a
Right.
fact. I think I've told this on this podcast before, but I'll never forget it as long as I live, and I think it's stuck with me so much that I think I live my life just to piss this lady off. When I turned 13, this is not a joke, this really happened. When I turned 13, the day of my birthday party, I think we went out to the movies that night, and one of my friend's moms was driving, and I'll never forget, she said to me, she said, now that you're a teenager, that means you can finally grow up. And I think my entire existence has been to anger her.
That does sound right.
She looked at me and was like, grow up, stop acting like a kid, stop being silly. And I was like, no, I will always be silly. I will always be goofy. You can never defeat me. Yeah.
That's the like flashback they always do in movies. That's your flashback.
What's this boring house mom in Oakwood, Ohio, who was like, you should grow up.
It's just you know, like somewhere, like some event or some bar, and someone's just like, God, why are you always so silly and goofy? Can't you just be serious? And that's just you, like it zooms into your eyes, and you're just that mom yelling at you, like, this is when you grow up, you stop being childish. And it's just like, then it just fades out like childish, 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 childish.
The more I thought about it, the more I was like, my parents were so open and welcoming to like whatever I wanted to do. They were completely on board for me just expressing myself. And I keep thinking about this kid's family because he was a nice kid. He was a genuinely good human being. Mm-hmm. But I also know that his home life probably sucked. If that's the kind of attitude that his mom had with a stranger, you know she's going off on him. Like, toys? You don't need a Nintendo Entertainment System. It'll rot your brain. You just need books.
Plus, it's like what? You're like 13? Like, you're still a kid for like another 5 years. In fact, I'd say you're 13. A kid until you hit like 25. It's like you're a kid.
13, bro. 13, she was like, time to grow up. Whoa.
Yeah, that lady's crazy.
Yes, that lady is very crazy.
Well, let me tell you about my, speaking of being old. So on Friday, we went and got brunch. And I love brunch. I think brunch might be my favorite meal of the day.
Was this a you and toast brunch, or was this a friend brunch? What kind of brunch was this?
This was a me and toast brunch.
Oh, lovely.
And so we were like, yeah, let's get brunch. So we went to a place, and
on a Friday?
Yeah, dude, Friday brunches are the best.
I've never had a Friday. I've only had Saturday, Sunday brunch. A Friday brunch? That sounds like a Chicago thing.
Friday brunch, you're just, it's like kind of the weekend. You know what I mean? Like, there's people going there because they're like, hey, it's almost the weekend. There's either like business meetings happening with like two people, but like casual business meetings, you know? They're not like in business. They're just like, hey, there's big groups of like old.
They're just like, hey, this is business, hey.
Big groups of old people. There's like this table of 8 old women. One of them legit looked like your mom.
Lovely.
Like straight up.
She probably was there. She could have been there.
That's true. And she was like the youngest one there.
Hell yeah. Get it, Mom.
She was talking, and she's like, they met when they were 18. And then when they got married, they were 34. And everyone's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I would say that is probably like an old person's true horror. Is they met when they were 18 and then didn't marry till they were 34. They were all like, oh. Everyone's clutching pearls.
She's doing the what's it called, the Hail Mary or whatever with the pearl or the cross, and then they looked like a group of also like retired teachers almost. And they were just talking, and you'd hear like random stuff from their table, just like, well, and then they'd be like, well, here, see y'all Monday. And they're like, yep, see everybody Monday. And I was like, wait a second, do they like do something together on Monday? Is this like a club? Are they coming back here for brunch on Monday? Like, I want to know, right? I'm curious.
Maybe they do. Maybe they have like we meet every day and chit chat. I know for a fact that there's groups of old ladies who do that. They find ways of doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's brunch and some. My mom, for example, she'd meet when she used to live in Kentucky. She'd meet all of her old lady friends at the pool, and it would be during a swim exercise thing. I feel terrible I watched it happen once. I feel terrible for the instructor, because imagine an instructor who's in the prime of her life, sitting there, physically fit, trying to get these old ladies in this pool to do aerobics with her. And all the old ladies want to do, I watched it happen, dude. There's like 8 in a corner all together, feigning exercise as they sit there chatting about their lives. And this woman's like, all right, next up, let's move those arms. And I'm just watching them just kind of moving their arms, talking about stuff. And I have never seen anything like it, but it reminded me of teaching so much. You just got, all right, come on. I'm trying so hard.
I love that. This is what I mean. This is why brunch is so good. You get these moments. This is like the prime, because like a lot of older people, they don't want to go to breakfast unless, they're like my parents. They wake up at like 4 a.m. But most old people, they're retired. They're like, let's get brunch, because you get the breakfast, lunch. You can get a sandwich, or you can get pancakes.
No, that's just a trick. That's a lie. Most old people have already been up and had breakfast 12 hours ago.
That's true. This could be their lunch.
Brunch is like dinner, kind of.
Yeah.
My dad would be like, had a great brunch. I don't need to eat the rest of the day. And then he proceed to snack the rest of the day.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't have a meal, though. I didn't have a meal.
It's
okay.
Or it's like there's also the person who wakes up early, but the person who wakes up later, and so they're like, well, we just get brunch, right? It's like meeting in the middle,
It's a good spot to meet it.
Yeah. So there's, other people coming in being like, whatever. So we were sitting there, we ordered, we were waiting, and then the best table showed up. The best table. All right?
Okay.
So this guy, he's 90s. Like maybe mid to late 90s. Yeah, he's got his walker, and I don't know if it was like his caretaker or like his like son-in-law or his like whatever. And they're like, all right, you can sit down. And then his actual son, who's like 70 at this point, because then he's like, hey, Dad, you sit here. And these 3 dudes like sit down, and the first thing he says when they give him the menu, he's like, pumpkin pancakes. 0 interest in pumpkin. 0 interest. And I was like, this is it. This is the table. And so he starts talking, and he's like, yeah, I remember. It was, God, was it Nixon? Oh, whatever. And then he's like, I remember Iwo Jima. I saw it happen. Iwo Jima. That's all he said. He said, Iwo Jima. I remember, I saw it happen.
I would love to just sit down and talk with this guy. I imagine he's got so many stories to tell, and I don't even know that any of them are appropriate, but I'll be honest, I bet it's a wild ride.
Oh, it's got to be. Then they go to order. They all order, and then he wants crispy bacon. Like,
well, of course he does.
He's like,
it reminds me of hardtack or whatever the hell he's been eating all his life.
Probably. He's like, I want crispy bacon, the crispiest bacon. And then they were like, all right, we'll make you crispy bacon. He's like, crispy bacon. So they start talking. They're like talking about whatever. And then they come out with the food, and there's no crispy bacon.
Oh, this dude. It's over. It's over. It's over for this entire business. They're done.
So they're waiting a bit, and I think they thought it was like coming out soon. Like, maybe they were just, a little late with it. But nope. Then the waiter comes back. He's like, where? Or no, he came back. He like filled waters and doing all that. And he's like, he didn't bring the bacon. And they're like, yeah, he didn't bring the bacon. He's like, where's the bacon? And he's like, get the waiter. And so the waitress walks by. He's like, can you get our waiter? He forgot our bacon. So she's like, oh, okay. And he comes out and he's like, we ordered crispy bacon. And he's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'll go get it right now. And then he's like, it'll be out in a couple minutes. So clearly he like didn't write it down or just forgot or whatever.
Yeah, the best part is he's like, yeah, no, I got it, crispy bacon. Like, oh, you screwed up now, son.
Yeah. And so
no tip for you.
5 minutes later, they bring out his crispy bacon, but he loved it. He was eating it, and they were like, oh, that's crispy. He's like, this is crispy. This is crispy bacon. This right here is crispy bacon.
I'm glad it had a happy ending. I'm thinking about my dad, and I can't figure out whether my dad would sit there and eat what he had, waiting for the bacon, or be so upset about no bacon, refuse to eat any of it, and demand a refund. Or he would wait angrily for the bacon to arrive. When the bacon arrived, he would then complain about his food being cold because he hadn't touched it since the bacon. Like, it's one of those three. I'm trying to imagine my dad in this situation. It's definitely one of those three things.
My dad would be like that too. He would just be like, I ordered crispy bacon, but, I guess it just, somebody just didn't make it or it didn't come out, or like he would just say like a passive aggressive type of thing like that.
Yes, my dad would definitely make a scene, but not in like a loud, crazy way. But we're at a table with you, and whatever's about to happen is going to be insane. And it's
going to be extremely embarrassing, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Yes, absolutely. It's like, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to make a show. You don't have to do. But I know my dad's one of those three things. I have to imagine he would sit there and not eat his food, waiting for the bacon, and he'd do that to make a point that it took so long for the bacon to arrive that his food is now cold. And he'll point out that his food is now cold because they didn't bring him his bacon on time and he didn't want to eat it without the bacon. So all of it is their fault. You know what I mean? Like, that's the attitude I think you'd have.
Oh, yeah. No, I see that. I don't know if that's just, like an old man. I guess it's not every old guy. It's like, this guy was 95. He didn't care. He just wanted his bacon. He got it.
I mean, if you make it to 95, I'm pretty sure you take the wins when you can get them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to be angry anymore. I'm 95. I have maybe one good year left.
Yeah, you don't know. At that point, just eat what you want, do what you want. Who cares?
Yeah, to hell with it.
Like, that's the point where they're like, my wrist hurts. And they're like, well, I guess, it's deteriorating. Like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, technically you shouldn't even have a wrist. You're like, so very old.
It should just fall off. Like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that was great brunch, great stuff. I enjoyed that. And then I think because the week before we also did brunch. We're almost like making Friday into brunch day at this point.
That's fun. That's nice to have a tradition, like a little family thing you do. That's nice.
Yeah. So we went to another breakfast place the week before, but I don't think there was any crazy people then. Yeah, it was just your normal like breakfast crew and like people talking and whatever, but no crazy people. So I was like,
that's why you got to be friends with the crazy people. If you become friends with the crazy people, there will always be crazy people there.
I don't do that. You would do that, which is why you always say, the crazy people always come to me. That's why.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a big crazy beacon.
You do.
Like, I'm a lighthouse for crazy people, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's get weird. Come on, crazy people. Let's have fun.
Overall, love brunch. Great meal.
Speaking of food, I was on Reddit the other day, and I saw a topic someone posted where they said, today I learned tomatoes are native to the Americas. So there's no such thing as tomato sauce in Italy until at least the 16th century.
Oh,
and I thought that was very interesting. I was like, yes, of course. I mean, it's a known fact. There's a lot of great videos about another fact that I think a lot of people didn't know is that potatoes aren't native to Ireland, right? And so everyone associates the Irish with the potatoes, but that's an America's crop, right?
Huh.
And yeah, same with tobacco and corn.
Interesting.
Right? That's an America crop. And what's fascinating to me is, I think we talked about this before, there's a video online where a guy is like, in the old Roman Empire, they had French fries, except it wasn't French fries, obviously, because there's no French, but it was, instead of a potato, it was some other tuber that was cut up and deep fried. And then instead of ketchup, they had what would basically be the equivalent of like an HP sauce the UK has.
Oh, I see.
And that was their French fries. Like that, it's been a thing. Like deep frying roots and stuff is a thing that has happened for some time, and it wasn't until potatoes were found. And I thought that was fascinating. I was like blown away by that. But the thing that baffled me, and I had to look this up because this is where I was like, So, corn, right, is maize, and maize is from the Americas.
Right.
But, and this is what sent me on a Jesse discovers a thing.
Yeah.
How is it called corned beef?
Oh yeah.
And so, I deep dove on the internet and discovered that corned beef does not refer to any corn related anything, but the corns in corned beef refer to the corns of rock salt used to preserve meat. It has nothing to do with grain.
Oh,
And I was like, wait, so it's called corns of rock salt, which I guess is why corn is called corn, because the little like knobs.
The kernels.
Yeah, the kernels, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah, it was crazy to me. Also, that deep dive took me then on another deep dive, which was there was no such thing as chilies in India. When you think India, you think curry and spice. When you think of most of Southeast Asia, you think spice. That shit did not exist. That was trade routed to there and later added to the food. Most original, like kimchi, for example, was not originally spicy.
Oh, interesting. So a lot of it is just like trade.
Yeah. It all comes from trade and exploring and all that stuff. And, when you think of Thai food or Vietnamese food, anything, you think of it, you think of the chilies in it. It's synonymous with it. Did not exist.
Hey, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's the type of learning I like. That's crazy learning.
And it's the kind of learning that when I was a teacher, I would always try to get my kids to think about, because the idea of, okay, now that I learned that Asia didn't have spices, like hot chilies, they had other types of spices, obviously. That's, the trade routes with silk and spice, but they didn't have hot chilies, right? Mm-hmm. And so now that you know that, it's like, so where do they get those from? And then that starts the education of like, oh, now I'm learning about that. And now I'm learning about like trade routes. And now I'm learning about the different ways that the stuff is harvested and by who. And that's how you get people to learn, because it's interesting. And a lot of the times we totally screw that up in school. We're just like, here's a date, memorize it. And you really shouldn't have to do that.
It's just, well, in fact, most schools just memorization. Here's the thing, memorize. And that's it. That's why people just cram. Because it's like memorize. But obviously,
it should be organic. You should want to, if you're doing history, for example, you want to know about the thing that occurred. And you can be like, okay, yeah, so World War II, we're not going to talk about, dates of things that happened. Like, let's just talk about how it started, and let's go from there. And then what happened after. It's all like cause and effect. Yeah. And same thing in everything in education. It's like, okay, well, why did this happen? And why did this happen? And how come this happened? And if you just ask those questions, it's so much easier to learn. And I think people just stopped learning a while ago.
Well, the thing is, like, I think people enjoy learning more online, because you learn on YouTube, you can learn from reading, there's so many ways to learn. And it's just like school is good for like certain things, and other things it just is like a memorization book,
Right.
Which, some things you have to memorize. Like if you're, a doctor and you're like, I need to remember this drug does this thing. And you're like, I forgot. Right.
What's even more fascinating is in the topic about spaghetti sauce and red tomato sauce, people were adding stuff to it. Like this one guy posted, weed is not native to Jamaica, which is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
This one guy posted Vikings. When you think of a hearty Viking meal, you might think meat and potatoes, but there's no Vikings didn't have potatoes, right? Yeah. They probably had grains or breads or barleys, things like that. And then one guy posted, chocolate is not native to Switzerland. Yeah, chocolate was brought there from South America.
Huh. Look at that.
And everyone thinks like, oh, Swiss chocolate's the best. It's because of trading stuff.
Look at that. The power of trading.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And so things that were not native to an area became associated. Like when people were like, oh, Irish potatoes, like the Irish didn't have potatoes. That was brought there because it was an easy to grow crop in really crappy weather.
Speaking of which, do you like home fries more or do you like hash browns?
Ooh, it depends. It depends on the meal. If I'm having some sort of hash, this is how you know I love brunch. If I'm having some sort of hash or some sort of substantial meat, home fries. Always. But if I'm having eggs, toast, hash browns, that's the spot. You put some hot sauce or ketchup on that. In fact, you do it to the whole damn plate. That's where it's at. Yeah, if I'm having a bacon, if it's a minimal meat, hash browns. Because you got to have that crisp and the flip and stuff. And then if it's there's meat on the plate, you got to have the home fries. That's just the way it works for me.
Yeah, every time I'd rather have home fries. I don't like the crispiness of the hash
browns. I
browns.
love a good crisp, and you put maybe a hot ketchup or ketchup and then hot sauce on it, and then you just mix it. You just whip it together like some sort of crazy man. It's delicious. Delicious.
I'm not a hash brown person. I don't know.
I'm not I think a lot of the time for breakfast, it just depends on, because there's other what other breakfast? There's something else I'm thinking about. There's another breakfast potatoes. There's some other breakfast potato. There's skillet potatoes, the ones that are kind of spicy.
Skillet potato. Hold on.
It literally is just home fries, but spicy home fries.
I see.
There's peppers in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Related searches: potatoes and onions. Eggs Benedict. I'm not a big Eggs Benedict fan. Omelette de potatoes. I'm here for it. Eggs plus taters in an omelet form. Sign me up.
I like a skillet. Love a good skillet. Love a good omelet. I like eggs and ham. That's a good combo. Just any egg with ham.
Time out. Would you eat this? I'm sending you this link. It is twice baked breakfast potatoes.
I would 100% eat that.
It literally is just a potato hollowed out with an egg, bacon, and cheese, and it looks like chives in the hollowed out bacon. I would eat that in a heartbeat.
That looks amazing. I would 100% eat that.
That looks really good. I'm man, that's the breakfast I want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good.
I don't know who is this? Terry and Jenny. This is their spoon fork bacon website. You know what, Terry and Jenny? You two made a delicious recipe here. This thing looks amazing.
That is amazing. You know what isn't amazing?
Oh no. Yes.
Cosmopolitan. Because I remember we used to go here, all right? I figured we needed some sort of callback this episode, and I thought this would be fun to just glance at what they have.
Well, before we do that, then, we have to do the ads. This could be the entire episode for all I know. I have no idea what's about to happen.
We'll see.
It's Cosmo. Cosmo tends to really screw everything up for us.
That's true.
Well, you know what doesn't screw stuff up for you?
Whoa.
Honey, because Honey is here to save you some money. How do you feel about holiday shopping? Because my goodness, we're there again. It's that time. Yep. It's almost Thanksgiving, and if you're here in the States, it is all Christmas for the next 5 weeks. So get ready.
Yeah.
But thanks to Honey, you don't have to get caught up in all that. When you're searching online to get some gifts for your loved ones, Honey is there as the free shopping tool to help scour the internet for promo codes and apply the best one to your cart at checkout. It supports over 30,000 stores online, ranging from tech to games to popular fashion brands, even food delivery. It's simple. Honey has saved me so much money I cannot even express this. Honey has helped me buying tech stuff when we bought cameras. It helps me buy clothes. I have ordered food online and used a Honey code. That's absolutely true. It works so well. And the best part is I don't even have to think about it. When I'm just doing stuff, if it's like, I got you, bro, it'll pop up and just be like, hey, save some money. And I need that in my life. I need someone to tell me that or I will forget. You can add Honey on your iPhone too now as well. Just enable on Safari. You can get your savings on the go. If you don't already have Honey, what are you doing? You're straight up just missing out on holiday deals. It's literally free, installs in a few seconds. You get it, save yourself some cash, and support this podcast. Get honey for free at joinhoney.com/Cox. That's joinhoney.com/Cox. Also today, we're brought to you by Calm. While I'm reading this ad, just take a moment to do a simple breathing exercise. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then exhale through your mouth. Keep this up. I can hear Crendor doing it. Keep this up while I tell you about today's sponsor, Calm. So just keep doing it. We're partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app, to give you the tools that will improve the way you feel. Right now, just breathing, you're already improving your day. Trust me on this. Reduce stress and anxiety through guided meditations, improve focus with curated music tracks, and rest and recharge with Calm's imaginative sleep stories for both children and adults. There's even a new daily movement session designed to relax your body, uplift your mind. All you have to do is go to calm.com/Cox and get a special offer for 40% off of a Calm premium subscription. New content is added every week. Over 100 million people around the world are using Calm to take care of their minds. Calm is ready to help you stress less, sleep more, and live happier and a healthier life. I've used Calm for so long. I forget how long I've been using it. It is just always on my phone, and I mean this, I cannot get to sleep without it sometimes. I think I'm addicted. I need that sort of white noise of either a train track or like a summer day. They have so many good just noise things. They've got great stories, and there is one that I love where it's just this like lady talking about trains. I don't know why. The train lady gets me. Her voice is amazing. It is so good. I use it on planes when I'm trying to sleep on planes. Calm is great. For listeners of the show, again, 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/Cox. And finally, it's that time of year again. We're all sitting around talking about gratitude, about what we're thankful for, that kind of thing. Well, I am thankful for my fine tush. It's a good one. It's a good one. This booty needs to be treated #1. And the best gift you can give to your #1 is something for their #2. I did it, Crendor.
You did it.
Now that's an intro. Of course, I'm talking about Hello Tushy, the bidet that is going to change the way you go #2. It is so simple. It is just, instead of wiping your butt with toilet paper, that really, what's really that cleaning? The Hello Tushy bidet system installs so easy, so quick. It is 8, maybe 10 minutes if you're slow like me. Super simple. And the best part is, you can now get a Tushy bidet 2-pack and save $90. Save up to $140 a year with, buying all that toilet paper and stuff. So you're already paying, it's already paying itself off. It requires no electrician or plumber. It works with your existing toilet, cuts down on your toilet paper, like I said, 80%. You're saving money. And every Hello Bidet attachment comes with a 60-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. See why millions of people around the world already love Hello Tushy. With over 100,000 5-star reviews, take care of your business the cleaner way. Save up to $30 when you go to hellotushy.com/Cox and give the gift that keeps on cleaning. Add yourself to a holiday shopping list and save $90 when you buy 2 this holiday season. Go to hellotushy.com/Cox and save big on them gifts for that big old butt. Now let's jump into the car that drives us over to Cosmopolitan.
So I found one article that I think will be good at talking about, but here are some other articles I have seen. This page has dating advice you need RN for right now, I take it.
They couldn't fit right now into the headline?
They could have very easily. There's also casual dating might be the move this cuffing season.
What is cuffing season? What does any of that mean?
Isn't that the holidays? Cuffing season.
Cuffing season. I can't believe we're both looking this up.
Oh yeah.
What is cuffing season?
For people date in the holiday months or the cold parts of the year because everyone is like lonely and it's cold and sad outside, and everyone's like holidays and stuff. You know.
Are you kidding me? That is. I'm gonna let you know. If that's a thing that you're engaged in, that's the saddest shit I've ever heard. Honest to God, I've heard a lot of sad shit, and this is up there. It's like I'm just can't be alone when it's cold. That's some sad shit.
That is kind of a you need to find yourself type of thing. Like, you know what? For this cuffing season, just date yourself. Find out who you are. You know?
That really is weird. Yeah, I can't believe this is a thing. I didn't even know this existed. Based on the idea of handcuffed, tied down to one partner, refers to people who get into relationships during colder months of the year, even though they ordinarily wouldn't be interested in commitment. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, people be like that, I guess.
Let's see. We also have hours after breaking up with my ex, I hooked up with his best friend who was also our roommate.
Yeah, all right. I mean, live your life, I guess. I don't know. This is why I never understood Cosmo. I don't know why that's print worthy. Okay. I mean, you made your living situation more complicated, but like, I'm glad you enjoyed that hour. I'm going to say hour. I'm going to give that man some credit. I'm going to say hour. I hope it was an hour, but I'm going to let you know, like, you just made your living situation way more complicated, and that didn't need to be printed ever, but okay.
It definitely did not. They also, underneath that title, when you click on the thing, it says, did we have sex in the kitchen while my ex was sleeping mere feet away? Yes, we did.
I'm going to let you know.
Cool, dude.
I don't think that happened.
I don't think it did either.
That is the premise of a porn, not an article. I don't think that happened. I'm going to say, for the record, I think 90 to 95% of the things that are in Cosmo did not happen and is just, like, sex fan fiction for women.
It almost does feel that way, yeah.
There's no, like, the headline alone, fake. I'm going to say fake. I'm going to say it didn't happen.
Let's see. We also have 4 must-know rules for taking a break in a relationship.
Just break up. There's your answer.
Yeah.
If you have to take a break in a relationship, you shouldn't be together. Like, that's...
Yeah,
take a break.
I'd say there's...
Here's what taking a break means. One person wants to sleep with someone else.
I'd say there's a very extreme small amount of people where a break would be like, yeah, but I feel like if they're taking a break, they're still, like, talking to each other. You know what I mean? They're not, like... But the thing is, like, if you want,
I don't know, man.
If this is like a normal relationship, you would probably talk to each other like, hey, you wouldn't say you want to take a break. You're just like, yo, can I just like have a few days to myself or something, and then whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel
like hey, I need some time on my own. Like, okay,
yeah,
I won't bug you, but like, you don't need to leave my home.
This relationship needs a break. Like, that is
like that's crazy. That's an end of a relationship.
That does feel like the hey, I don't know about this relationship anymore, and I kind of want to date another person just to see. You know, that's what it feels like.
Yes, at least be honest. At least say, look, I don't know where I stand with you anymore. I want to try dating other people and seeing if my relationship with you is, as, you know, if it's something to keep. Like, just be honest. Just say what you're going to do. Well, this whole, like, we need to take a break. You're like, nah, you don't. You just want to date other people.
The problem with that, too, is that you're saying just be honest. Like, this already shows there's a communication problem. Which is like the foundation of a relationship. Like, you already have like, I'm too afraid to break up, you know, and you're doing like take a break instead of breaking. Like, it's almost like you don't want to say no, right?
It's the equivalent of I'm hoping time apart will make us feel, you know, separated, so this will be easier to break up.
Yeah, it feels like that too. You're right.
It's never. None of that is a good. When someone says let's take a break, it isn't like, well, so that then we can get back together and be stronger. No, it's like, let's take a break so the breakup isn't as hard on us.
Yeah, like otherwise you'd be going to like relationship therapy or something.
Absolutely. Or you would have had, like you said, had a conversation where the two of you would sit down and, like, you know, sometimes I need my alone time. Sometimes maybe I want to go on a day trip by myself away. And be like, well, why do you want that? Well, being alone in a car, listening to music, driving on the road, it calms me. It like makes me like that kind of shit. Yeah. You just talk to the person and they're like, all right, I understand why you would do that. It isn't because you're trying to get away from me to go see like your secret lover or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
You just talk to a person and you alleviate concerns. You're like, no, I'm doing this for me. It isn't like Jesse the secret love man gonna run around. No, it's like sometimes I want time to myself. And an understanding partner would be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's so. This is like when even though people tell me this doesn't exist on TikTok, I always get dating advice on TikTok. Always. I don't know what it knows about me, but I always get dating advice, but it's terrible advice. It's always just like, guys, if a girl messages you, you must wait minimum 4 hours to respond. If anything, respond the next day. Let her know that you're busy so that she doesn't think you're some simp just trying to get with her. And I'm like, boy, I fail at that. If a girl that I like messages me, I'm on it. I'm like, yo, what up? Like, I am the biggest idiot when it comes to, I'm like, I'm not going to play games.
Like weird pickup game stuff. Like, I feel like if two people actually like each other, they're just going to talk.
It 100% is some dude thinks he figured out how to game relationships. And I'm sure for some people it works. Right? Like for him, he probably got some girl who like had really low self-esteem and he strung her along and was terrible to her. And he's like, guys, this is how you can be terrible to women. And the guys are like, yeah. It's not a game though. Why are you talking about gamifying relationships? It's not a game.
Yeah. It's literally just like the same way you make friends. You don't make friends being like, all right, let's play this friendship game. Well, maybe some people do. I don't know. But like, you're just, it's just an advanced level of that. Like you're just in a actual full-blown relationship. Most of the time you're like friends. You do stuff together. You enjoy being around each other. But
Absolutely.
You also do it.
That's really, honest to God, that's really the perfect relationship. You're like very good friends, and every once in a while you like look at each other's junk.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really it. You're like, yeah, I want some of that. Also, do you want to go do something this weekend? Like that's really what it is.
And speaking of which, we've got 30 conversation starters for texting that'll make your flirty banter way more productive.
All right. Yes.
This is the article I wanted to bring up to you to read.
Okay. All right.
So here we go.
Wait, do we need to do news, sports, and all that stuff, or are we just going in?
Actually, yeah, we should. Well, now we'll do news, sports. All right, let's do that.
All right. And weather. Wait, traffic. Wait, one of the both. Go.
Wait, it's the double. Here we are, up in the chapter captor, the electrified Zoom mobile. I don't even know what this thing is anymore.
Hold on. Zip.
All right, there we go.
Zip.
Yeah, looking down.
Zip.
I mean, there's traffic out there, but I was looking up, and apparently this is the 10-year anniversary, which is the tin or aluminum anniversary. So there you go. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. You know what? For my Brits out there, it's our aluminium anniversary.
Aluminium.
Okay. Let's do weather.
I like the way aluminium sounds more, I think.
I like it too. Aluminum is whatever. Aluminium sounds amazing.
I agree.
It's like when in Star Wars, when Ewan McGregor, instead of specialty, he goes, it's all speciality. Speciality, I like better. I like it better.
Yeah. It's a little more fancy, you know?
Yeah. Big fan.
Weather. So we got a weather request. I thought this would be fitting. For Horny Bar, Slovakia.
Horny Bar?
Horny Bar, Slovakia. They said, I posted this on a previous video. Someone said I should post it again. It's pronounced horny with a rolling R and a long E sound for the Y. And bar, again with the rolling R. All the other letters are the same.
Yeah, I see it.
It's a small town on the northern bank of Danube in today's Slovakia.
Danube?
Danube. The first written mention of the town is in 1245 during the Hungarian Kingdom era, and its modern version of the name is derived from the Hungarian original name of Felbar. Fel is a prefix which in context means upper, and bar. They wrote a lot. I'm sorry, dude. I can't read all this. Town today has two churches, one dating to the 14th century, the other to the 18th century. Used to have a castle, but it doesn't exist anymore. The town, even though in Slovakia, is primarily inhabited by ethnic Hungarians. Much of the southern Slovakia is inhabited by ethnic Hungarians to this day, as the area was given to Czechoslovakia in the Treaty of Trianon after World War I in order to reward Czechoslovakia for fighting for the Entente and to give them access to the Danube River.
the Danube River. Yeah,
Danube River. There you go. The weather in Horny Bar, or Horny. Is that how you say it? You roll the R?
Horny Bar.
34 degrees, partly cloudy, day 41, night 31. You got some mixed precipitation after 7 a.m. Snowfall coming in less than an inch, but it's still snowing. I'll let Whoppy take it from here for the anniversary. Whoppy, humidity 99%, pressure 29.86 inches, visibility 5 miles. 7:04 a.m. Sunrise 4:06 p.m. Sunset. Wind 2 miles per hour. Dew point 34. UV index 0. Moon phase waning crescent. Looking at the 10 day. We got loading. 42 degrees with some AM rain and ice. You got 41 p.m. light rain. On Tuesday, Wednesday, rain and showers. Those are the same thing. Thursday, you got 46 a.m. showers. Friday, 46, but partly cloudy, no rain. But then Saturday and Sunday, you got 44 degrees on both with showers coming back into the picture. That's Horny Bar's weather.
I'm blown away. This might be the first city that I can't find anything for.
Oh.
When I look up Horny Bar, everything that's there says it's in a nearby city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even TripAdvisor, I go to TripAdvisor, it's like top things to do in Horny Bar, and it's like nearby attractions, and it's all the one city over.
I do see a YouTube video of backflip in Horny Bar. Man's backflipping into water. Here's Piano Bar.
I'm going to go to the map. You know what? Clearly Google Maps will have something that will show me about. I do see an old map of Horny Bar that looks like it's from when it was one road and 6 houses.
Wait, here you go.
What? Horny Bar. What's in Horny Bar?
Here is the Piano Bar in Horny Bar.
Can I tell you, that is the only thing. Do you see anything else? Anything else at all? I see 2 pharmacies.
Yeah.
And that is it.
And wow,
dude, I don't see anything else.
Yeah,
I see a park. I see the post office. I see what looks like a grocery store, maybe a small market.
Yeah,
and one piano bar.
This does look like piano bar.
Piano bar. It looks like, I don't even know. It looks like just here's the thing though. Some of that bread looks delicious.
Oh yeah, it's good bread. They got a lot of meat.
That is good bread. Yeah.
A lot of meat.
Lots of meat and bread.
Yeah.
And then a giant ass ice cream.
Yep, gotta have the ice cream.
I'm looking to see what they. No, it's literally all meat and bread. I'm scrolling down. I'm like, I wonder what else they have. Meat, a giant plate
bread.
of meat,
more
meat, a buffet
sausages
of meat.
Yeah, crazy pastries.
This I think is the only restaurant in the city.
It's gotta be.
Those sausages look fire though. Some of those look good.
They do look very good.
Oh my god, they have a Bavaria, like a cream pie thing.
Oh yeah, I see that.
All right. Oh, you know what? I'm here for it. Some of this looks super delicious. I can't believe that this is it though. Like the outside looks like an old lady's patio.
It really does. There's like a gnome. There is.
Honest to God, this was someone's house at one point.
Oh, it had to be, yeah. 100%. Actually, you can go across the river and there's some stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It said everything was in another town.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Bratislava, I think that's how you say that, is north of that, and that's where everything's there.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a suburby kind of vibe.
It is. Yeah, it feels very kind of
Corny Bar's down the road, though, man. Yeah, nothing's there. But across the river, you got a Kutva PM. What is a Kutva PM?
I don't know.
It won't even let me click it. Kutva PM. What is it? What are these places?
This place reminds me of like Wisconsin.
You know what? Yeah, I'm starting to think most of the world is the exact same place.
It's all Wisconsin.
Poho stinks vodki. Looks like that's beer. Boy, I butchered that. Also a DJ. Also, this also looks like just someone's house. Whoa, that's terrifying. There's the wettest looking dead fish I've ever seen. Oh, it hasn't been cooked yet. Okay, that's
that
why.
checks out.
This restaurant / bar, out of all the photos, half of them are of a DJ's laptop. That sounds
Oh
right.
my
That
God.
sounds that definitely sounds accurate. If I was gonna be like Eastern European, huh? Yeah. DJ laptop. That checks out. Although it's the Slovakia counts as Eastern Europe for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. As somebody who's literally like 100% Eastern European.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna argue that like if you're south of Poland, I don't think you count as Western European. If Poland is like directly north of you, actually, there's Prague is in between, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's the weather.
All right. Sports.
Let's go to sports. So we had NFL football action. On Thursday, the Packers lost to the Titans. That was sad. The Falcons beat the Bears today. The Eagles beat the Colts. The Patriots beat the Jets. Commanders beat the Texans. Saints beat the Rams. Bills beat the Browns. Ravens beat the Panthers. Lions beat the Giants. Raiders beat the Broncos. Cowboys destroyed the Vikings. Bengals currently beating the Steelers. And then we got Chiefs Chargers tonight and 49er Cardinals tomorrow. Looking at the NBA, we've got a Celtics first place, then the Bucks in second, Hawks in third, Cavs, Pacers, both in fourth and fifth, tied there. In the West, you got the Jazz up top, Grizzlies, Suns, Trailblazers all tied in second, and then the Mavericks, Nuggets right behind them. And over in hockey, we got the New Jersey Devils in first place after winning 12 games in a row.
Woo!
Wowee. Boston Bruins in first. They've won 6 in a row. We've got the Dallas Stars in first. They've only won 2 in a row. We've got the Vegas Golden Knights, who are in first place, but they haven't really had a winning game streak. But they are 7-2-1 in their last 10. And that is sports.
Okay. I gave you some facts of the day today. So I feel
That's
like we
true.
got that down.
Yeah, I think we
Let's
we
get
got
to
some
Cosmo.
good facts. All right, here
Yeah,
we
the
go.
kids want Cosmo. The kids
All right.
love Cosmo.
So here we go. This article says, when it comes to dating, whether you met on a dating app or had an epic meet cute.
That's gross, by the way. But if you don't know what a meet cute is, it's movie terminology for when people meet in a movie, and it's like kind of cute. You know what I mean? Like they meet for the first time, and it's like, oh my god, like that.
Okay.
That's what it means. It's like fake Hollywood talk for when people meet in the beginning of a movie.
I see. I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
I
And now
do
you
now.
know that Cosmo uses it to define actually just meeting a person out in the wild.
That's our fact of the day.
There you go.
The work isn't done once you find that initial spark. In order to move things along, you have to put in some real effort, which means finding ways to really get to know someone, like asking thought-provoking questions and having meaningful conversations. And since a lot of your interactions will take place via text likely, having some convo starters for texting ready at your fingertips is kinda essential. The benefits to early stage texting are plenty. First off, it's easy. You can do it from anywhere, and you don't have to plan your whole day around meeting up to chat over coffee. It can also feel safer in the early stages since you're not physically with the person you're trying to get to know. Plus, the delay between messages gives you both a little more time to respond thoughtfully, which can be beneficial if you're nervous or still testing the waters. Says Mia Lux, the co-founder and CEO of the dating app and virtual social club Lavette Social Club.
I just want to point out for the record, I love that they're like, we got this person whose whole job is to make it so relationships happen more and more online to talk to you about why texting is so good for relationships.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to tell you how much I disagree with that.
Today, we got the CEO of Coca-Cola here to tell you why Coca-Cola is so good at your family gatherings. It just brings people together. They love having an ice cold Coke with a whatever meal you got around.
I cannot stress this enough. Maybe it's just me, but I'm gonna put this out to the world. I will text in relationships, but I hate it. I would rather have a conversation and talk to you because at least inflection you can tell how a person's talking. Versus if you text someone, it's like that Key and Peele sketch where one person's texting and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to be there," of course, and the other person's like, "You can't what?" It's like that kind of idea. Where sometimes when people text me, I can't read into whether they're joking or not, so I accept it at face value.
Right.
Rather than sit there and try to figure out your intention behind what you just wrote me, or if you're being playful or coy. If I'm just starting to get to know you, I want to get to know you. I don't want to sit there and be like, what do they mean by this? What does that mean? I can just be on the phone and hear it in your voice and be like, oh, okay. But no one wants to talk anymore, thanks to this lady who's like, come to my social app where you'll never have to talk to anyone again.
Yeah. That's like if somebody just says, okay. Like,
yes.
if you know it's me, and you're like, hey, you want to do this thing? I'd be like, okay. And you're like, oh, okay. But then, if it's somebody you don't know and you say, well, this thing, they go, okay. They might be saying that because they don't want to do it. It's like a passive-aggressive thing, like, okay. Right?
And you don't know unless you're talking to them and you can hear it in their voice.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, a huge issue with online dating and, texting, because unless you're open and honest in your text communications, right, it's going to be really hard because if everyone's still trying to play games, like we're getting to know each other and I don't know the way you talk. And if you're texting me, I'm going to assume you're texting me like a normal. So when you're like, okay, I'm going to be like, all right, they said, okay. I'm not going to sit there and think, what does that mean? Because I don't have the patience or time to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to analyze your entire life to figure out what this okay meant. Like, no, I'm going to assume you meant okay, and I'm going to move on with my life. And if you are being passive aggressive, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. First, a few text conversation tips to keep in mind. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Before you grab your phone and type out a basic "how are you," think about the goal of your conversation. Are you trying to get to know the person? Are you curious about something specific? Do you simply want to remind them that you exist? Figure out the purpose before hitting send. Once you know why you're sending said text, Lux says to figure out how to accomplish your goal in a fun, casual, and lighthearted way. Think about giving value and adding to their day instead of being just another notification on their phone.
Oh my God.
Well,
are you have added value to my day? That's how I view all relationships. Have you added to my day?
Have you added anything of value to my day? Let's see.
I am incredibly selfish, and I don't know if you've added to my daily value. But okay.
I am very important, and I don't know if I got time to not add value to my day.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of understand the idea behind it.
Right.
Is if you're gonna message someone, you want to have a conversation, not just like, "Good morning," smiley face. You know what I mean? Like, you want to add more to that. I get it. I understand. But this is the most corpo bullshit response.
It is.
The value added and the cost benefit of you. Like, shut up. Just.
It also
this isn't love. This isn't a relationship.
They're like, write down on a piece of paper, like a tree. Let's see. Why am I texting this person? Is it to increase my happiness today? Is it to learn more? Like, just do it, you idiot.
Yeah. If you care about a person, text them. Don't think about. Just say like, "Hey, hope you're having a good day. I'm sending you good vibes at the start of your day. I'd love to talk to you later. Period." And like when you're off work tonight, let's talk.
Plan to start a conversation.
Yeah, just be like, "Hey, thinking about you, and I'd love to talk to you when you have free time." period. It's not even that complicated.
Yeah. In fact, I'd say most people that like being around somebody, they usually just want to learn more about them. So usually it's just like asking questions about them and like showing you're interested. You know what
Honest
I mean?
to God, it's the simplest. Like the way conversations die is when someone. I'll give you an example. I will say to Crendor, for example, "Hey, how was your day? What have you been up to?" And Crendor responds something like, "Oh, today I went to the IKEA and it was lovely." And I would respond, "Oh, why'd you go to IKEA? What were you doing there?" And it isn't like I'm trying to snoop, and I'm literally just like, "Tell me about your life." And then you'd say some more about the IKEA, and then I'd respond based on things you said. And then I'd be like, "Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Maybe next time you go to IKEA, we could go together." Boom. It's not even that complicated.
Yeah. It's about being just interested and curious of the other person. This doesn't even tie into like a romantic relationship. This is just like for talking to people in general.
Yeah, yes and is the. I know it's an improv goof, but yes and when someone says something to you, just like go with the flow. Like sure, yeah, I'd love to know more. I'd love to do this thing. Like, and maybe next time I can come with you. Like that kind of thing.
The issue is most people. Well, I wouldn't say most people. A good amount of people don't care about that, and they just want to talk, right? Like they're like, you could be at you could be at a sports game, right? And somebody might be like, "Oh, wow, that's, Jimmy Johnson. He's my favorite player." And somebody might be like, "Oh, that's cool. Anyway, where's the thing?" Right? Like, they don't care. They're just like, they're in their own head. They're in their own, like, process of, like, where's my things? I want this. Blah, blah. They're never thinking about, like, actually listening and, like, being like, "Wow, you like that player? Why do you like him?" It's like, "Wow, I liked him since I was a kid." And it's like, "Wow, you've liked this since you were a kid. That's pretty cool." Right? It's just like, and they're like, "Wow, they actually care about what I like and they're interested." Like, that's it.
You're absolutely correct. A lot of people don't listen to conversations. They are there. They look at you, but mentally they're checked out doing something else.
Yeah.
And then when
or
you're
they're
done
thinking
talking,
about what they're going to say next.
Absolutely, yes. They're ready to move on to the next thing that they want to get out and that they want to say, because the thing you just said was they were being polite, "Oh yeah, you can say what you want to say, and now it's my turn." And people, I think, just forgot how to have a conversation because of shit like this. It was like, "Well, what are your 20 ways to text online?" Because when you're texting, you can see the message, go about your life, do some things, then hours later come back to it and be like, "Oh, I was caught up in some stuff, but anyway, this is how I feel about that subject." And you had time to ruminate on it and think. But in reality, no one's going to sit there and be like, "So what have you been up to today?" And then I just stare at you awkwardly while I think of a response. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
People forgot, I think, how to be in the moment.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What else do they say here? While you might have the urge to be overly flirty or sexual to get their attention, try to steer clear of obvious pickup lines or seductive language if the goal isn't just to hook up. I would say also if the whole goal is to just... Also, FWIW, I don't know what the shit that means.
I'm going to look it up. FWIW for what it's worth.
Oh, okay. Serious convos shouldn't really happen over text since it's way too easy for meanings to be misinterpreted and communication to get crossed.
Well, that's what we were saying.
Keep things relaxed, and if it does start to feel like a conversation taking a turn, speak up. Ask if it would be better to switch to talking over the phone or FaceTime, or just, meeting up in real life.
This is comical to me. This is... The first half of this was just like, so when you're talking online, do these things, but also don't talk online. You shouldn't do like, if you're having an important conversation, you shouldn't do that. Like, oh, well, yeah, obviously.
Lastly, keep in mind that folks get busy and can't always text, and some people simply don't enjoy texting style communication. If the person you're hitting up responds with one-word answers or takes forever to get back to you, consider asking them about their preferred way to connect. Maybe they'd rather chat in person or via phone call instead, or they don't like you. I added that last part.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, that's the one. If I'm into someone, I will not stop shutting up. You're going to have to get me to shut up. I can't. If I'm into you, God, I'm like, all right, whatever. If I send you I got other things to do that are more important than you. And you should just understand. And I feel like everyone knows that deep in their soul.
Yeah.
If I message you and you send me back okay, I already believe you are not really that interested and you're just along to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then my value of that relationship automatically declines. Like if I'm putting in effort and I'm asking you questions and I'm doing things, like if we're having a conversation, if Crendor and I are having a conversation again, and I'm asking about IKEA, and then I say, cool, maybe next time we can go to IKEA, and then you say, okay, you've stopped the conversation.
Yeah.
At that point, it's up to me now to find another topic to talk about, when you should be like, oh, well, what do you like to do? Maybe I can come with you to something. Like, it's now, the ball's in your court now. People don't do that. People are like, okay. And at that point, I'm like, you don't care.
Well, yeah, it's the point where if they did care, they would ask questions, like they would do what we were doing. It was like, oh, wow, what's that thing? Like, they would be genuinely curious as well. But if it was like, you know, if you say something and they don't really care, they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. Right?
Yeah, when
they
people
just don't care.
I've been in relationships where people are like, oh, yeah, I love to, share things and talk about stuff. And I'm like, okay, good. Yes. Amazing. I'm totally here for that. Oh, yeah, sometimes I talk too much about the things I love. I'm like, great. I would love to know more about the things you love. And then they just don't ever. And I think it's because somewhere along the line, someone told them to shut up about it. You know what I mean?
It's possible, too, yeah.
I have to believe that, when you reach 30 plus, you're dealing with the baggage of everyone else's relationship at that point.
They've definitely been through a lot at that point, yeah.
Yeah. And you would think that most people would realize that those are just bad relationships and it has no effect on you as a person and you shouldn't base your future relationships off that stuff. But I think you have to come out of like a few bad relationships to be like, no, that's not how it normally works.
Right.
And I think a lot of people have like mediocre relationships. They break up like, that was all right. But no one, you have to go through some, like, you got to go through the mud. You got to be like, oh, I hate life. You got to be there. And then you're like, you know what? No, that wasn't me. I'm not the problem.
Well, here we go. We've reached the core meal of this article.
The core meal.
The core meal. I meant to say core or like the main course, and I just said core meal.
The core meal.
The core meal.
Core meal. You know what? It's like cornmeal, but for the soul, man.
Yeah, a little more robotic.
Yeah.
Here's what they actually text. No matter where you see the relationship going, any stimulating convo begins with a good question. If you've just started talking, keep the convo light. But if you've been exchanging messages for a while and or have been on a few dates, feel free to get a little deeper to really learn more. Whether things are platonic, you're on a first date, or you're in a long-term relationship and just want to mix things up, questions below can amp up your banter and take it from basic to productive in 100 characters or less.
Let's hear these questions. I am so curious what they are because I know that they're gonna suck. Right? I don't even have to see the article to know these questions are gonna be total ass.
I wanted you to hear these.
All right, I'm ready for it.
Here we go. This is if you're texting a dating app match. This is like you just matched up. Okay?
Okay.
Number 1. Describe yourself in 3 words.
That's the first thing you say out the gate?
Apparently, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't like that
I don't think if you said describe it, it's not a job interview.
Yeah. Plus, like,
if you're going,
yeah, it's like a job interview, and then what are you gonna say? Like, oh, I'm funny, cool, and down to earth. Like, okay, that tells me absolutely nothing.
Right? Like, it is. What are you gonna? If you're concerned about meeting a person and you don't know them, if I said to you out the gate that you're already super sus because you don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna sit there and be like, why is this guy asking me these questions? That's super weird.
Yeah. It also comes off as not even that genuine. It feels like you just read this in like a book and they're like, say this to someone. You're like, okay.
Yeah, it's the thing you copy paste to every person you match with.
Yeah. Next we have, what is the best part of your day today?
I think that's a good, end of the day question. If you're, I don't know if it's a good opener, but I think if you're with someone and you say good morning to them and, you say, I'll talk to you later. And then later they message you. I think you could easily say, tell me about your day. What was the best part?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what good happened to you today?
That one's pretty good. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
feel
good
like that's a very sweet thing to do, and ask them about their day. Not like, oh, vent to me about the bad shit that happened, but instead refocus on what good happened, right? I think that's a positive way. Out the gate on a dating app? No. That's like,
yeah, I don't know.
so what good happened to you today?
Yeah, it's a little right out the gate. It's a little weird, but
It's a little strange.
Maybe it'll work. Who knows? Next up, what's your strangest talent?
No, that is.
You know what I would reply if I was just anybody? I would just be like, my strangest talent is blocking people that ask this question.
Yeah. When you say what's your strangest talent, that is like F-boy code for I want you to tell me about the nasty sex thing. It really is.
It does give off that vibe, yeah. If you were an emoji, what emoji would you be?
Yo, you're never seeing a naked woman if that's your pickup line. Never happening. You will die alone if you're like, what emoji? You're not a BuzzFeed quiz. What the hell?
Personally, I am tongue face emoji.
I'm the little poop with the stinky face.
Yeah,
Because I'm a little stinker.
If somebody said that, I would just I wouldn't even reply to this. Next we have, what was your first concert? That one seems all right. Especially if like somebody says they like music, and you're like, hey, what was your first concert?
Agreed. I think that's a good one. It's not a good opener per se, but it's certainly a good follow-up if you're talking about music. Like, oh, what kind of concerts do you like? That kind of thing. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be a good opener if they said it all. I don't know. I haven't even used a dating app, so I don't know.
The problem is that in dating apps, you could put like, oh, I like music, but I think if you said, what's your favorite concert, there's not like context, and I guarantee the people that wrote their dating app profile probably forgot they put, I love music.
I don't know about that, because if they love music, then why would they forget putting I love music?
Because they answer 8 million. The thing that I've learned about, statistics wise, is that there are many, 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 many more men on dating apps.
Obviously,
and
yeah.
It's like 80-20 almost. And then all the women that are on dating apps, I would say that the top half of conventional beauty, that kind of attitude, they're getting bombarded with messages all the time.
Right.
Every woman I've ever known who's used a dating app, they're being blown up constantly, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages. So the problem is when you come out asking like, hey, hi, what's your favorite concert? They've got hundreds to go. I don't know if they're going to be like, yeah, all right, I'm going to take the time to answer this question.
Yeah, that's true. Next we have, who's your favorite character from a movie, TV show, or book?
I mean, if they said that they're like a nerd or something like that might be like, I'm a book nerd. It could be a fun opener to be like, hey, I'm trying to get to know you. Who's your favorite character?
But that feels like the same thing as the concert thing.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But that one was more open. Like if you would have said, what's your favorite, who's your favorite music artist? Or
what's your favorite song?
It says
you're
here,
listening, what song you listen to right now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like, oh, I saw that you like music. I love music too. What are you listening to right now?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a good, quick vibe. That
that's
works.
good. That's good. If you could have dinner with one person, who would it be, living or dead?
That's a fun question to ask at we're drunk late at night and the date is winding down kind of thing and we're having a good goof.
But not like an opener.
Yeah, I don't know that's an opener. I saw a thing on Reddit the other day that was, if you had the power to make anyone else immortal, who would it be? And I was like, oh, that's a fun question.
That's true. That could actually be a weird one.
Yeah, because this is great. Yeah, if there was a vote for one person to receive immortality, who would win? And there's a few joke answers, but most people answer stuff like There was a guy whose DNA contains a mutation that makes his blood a treatment for some deadly diseases. I don't remember the particulars, but he gives blood basically as often as practical and has already saved something like 2 million lives. That guy. And I was like, damn, I would give that guy immortality.
But here's
that
the
guy's
thing.
out there saving the world.
My initial thought of that was they would put him in a chair and they would just, they capture somebody like, this guy's got the magic stuff, and they just like hook up a bunch of things to him and they're just like harvesting him for his blood.
He's the new God Emperor. I played 40K. Yeah, I know what's up.
There would be like wars over him.
There's this guy says there's a dude in India who has a feeding program that feeds 2 million kids a day. That guy could deserve it. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here.
My brain instantly went to, what if you made someone immortal that didn't even want to live? That would be like a super punishment, wouldn't it?
That's actually a guy right here wrote, I would vote for my worst enemy as punishment. Locking them away, knowing they never die, everyone they loved would die, and they'd be in the dark for eternity. I was like, whoa! That's the darkest thing I've ever heard.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that guy would come out a supervillain for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The other three we got here is, what's your best vacation? What's your favorite holiday? If you were an animal, what animal would you be? Those are the ones.
Best vacation is kind of fun if you talk about I like to travel. Like, again, all this is based off of what do I know about this person to begin with, right? And so none of these matter unless you already have a foundation of knowing about them, right? If you say, what's your best vacation, and they don't travel, then, they probably might be like, oh, my best vacation is I took a week off, and although that could be interesting. Maybe they said they don't travel, and you could ask, oh, so you've never taken a vacation? And they might say, oh, no, I have. And like, oh, well, then what was your best staycation? Or like, what did you do? That kind of thing. But it's all about just, you're talking to a person, you're learning about them, you're having a conversation, and you're not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Yeah. Those are all those. Next we have, if you're texting someone you're casually dating.
So this is like, we've been together a month.
Yeah.
And we see each other on the weekends, maybe.
I guess. Either way, right. I'm not going to lie, these questions feel exactly the same.
Give me one of them. What is the vibe?
We have, do you have a life motto? What is it?
Shut up. No sane person has a life motto. And if they do, it's going to be like, eat, pray, love, or some bullshit.
Yeah. We have, what's your sign?
Don't do that. You're going to end up with the girl who's like, actually, I base all my relationships off astrology charts. And then you're screwed.
We have, what would you do if you won the lottery?
That's a fun question. You can get to know a person based off of like their extreme wealth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's interesting.
What role do you play in your friend group?
Don't ask anyone that.
Yeah, that should be something you could like figure out for yourself.
More importantly, don't make anyone get introspective on their own friends.
Oh,
like in your friend group, what role do you play? Are you the mom? Do you take care of everyone else? Are you the wild one? Are you the one who's drunk all the time? Are you the weird? Don't make them do that.
You're definitely the weird nerdy one.
Yeah, why would you? Just tell me more about your friend group so I can judge you based on where you fit in that circle.
That's dumb.
Get out of town. They're their friends, not your friends. Why the hell do you care?
Yeah. Are you more introverted or extroverted?
I'm pretty sure you could figure that out.
You could probably figure that out, yeah.
In one phone conversation, yeah.
In like literally, one, even just hearing like 5 sentences.
Yes.
When was the last time you laughed so hard you couldn't breathe? Probably reading this article.
Gotcha.
Then we have, if you're texting someone with long-term potential. All right, this is the ultimate here.
Long-term potential is how you define business. This is amazing to me. The long-term potential of this relationship between these two companies. Shut up.
What's your love language?
I mean, that's something you should figure out at the beginning. Yeah. Even if you don't use love language in the like definitions of what people are into, you should be able to figure out, oh, this person likes when I tell them I love them versus acting on like I can do all the things in the world that show I care about you, but if I don't say it, it doesn't mean anything. Like that, you should just know that. That's just a conversation. Should figure that out.
Yeah. Are you a better talker or listener? Like, that's
again, you should figure that out just by communicating. But okay.
What's the best thing about getting older? What's the worst?
Why would you ask? Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you ever ask a woman, what's the best thing about getting older, they're going to hear, so now that you're old, what's it like?
Yeah.
There's no way that's a win for you. If you ever say to a woman, what's the best thing about getting older, they do not hear it any other way except for, now that you're an old lady. No, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's a terrible one. Who is your role model and why?
That's actually kind of funny. I would love to know. I want to hear someone be like, I'm a huge fan of Ted Bundy. What? Why? I don't know. He had some things right. Like,
let's see. How often do you visit home? How do you feel when you do?
I mean, those are questions I think would come up organically while talking about someone's family, right? Eventually, you have to talk about your families, right?
I feel like saying it like that just feels weird instead of just asking it like a normal human. You know?
This does
like,
feel
how
like...
often do you visit your residential home? How often or how do you feel when you do so? Is it good or bad? Like,
Are you taking notes right now? Where do you live? And how often do you go there? What days are you absent? Is there any jewelry on the premises?
what's something that makes you nervous?
If someone was in your home and they had that thing that made you nervous, would you be more or less likely to call the cops?
Do you have
Just
pets?
asking.
Specifically a large dog?
When is that dog outdoors?
And,
Is there a gate you can lock?
That's really all these questions. That's like all they are. And then the final one here is, how do you define happiness for yourself?
I feel like it's always good to start your relationship with existential crises.
Yeah.
You really want to nail it home that, like, when you date me, I'm going to make you really focus on all your problems.
Yeah, that's a list right there of some stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing. Cosmo, once again, in 10 years, nothing has changed.
Absolutely nothing has changed. But I have a quick news story. It's top tier. I have to do it. Very quick.
Okay. All right.
Chain smoking marathoner finishes in under 3.5 hours, and he's done it before.
Now, was this person smoking during the run?
Yes. Here he is. Let me show
If this
you.
guy doesn't look like... Yep. Yep. Wow. Yeah. I mean, good on him, I guess.
Yep.
I'm not sure what he's trying to prove, but, like, good on him.
I don't know. Marathon runners are such a dedicated bunch that many fine-tune their breathing to maximize oxygen intake for 26.2-mile races. But a 50-year-old Chinese man decided to take a more leisurely approach this month, chain smoking his way through the Jinjiang Marathon in Jiande, China. I said that wrong, probably. And he did it in under 3.5 hours. Chen Bangxian, nicknamed Uncle Chen.
Of course he was. Of course he's Uncle Chen.
That is Uncle Chen, if I've ever heard. Finished the arduous race on November 6th in 3 hours and 28 minutes, according to a certificate from race organizers first reported in English language by Canadian Running. Despite Chen's apparent aversion to oxygen, he came in 574th place out of about 1,500. He's like in the top third. His time was nearly an hour faster than 4-hour, 29-minute average for finishing marathons. Photos of the, quote, grandpa have since gone viral on the Chinese social media platform Weibo. They left digital onlookers in such belief the marathon organizers shared his finishing certificate online to lay skepticism to rest. So I guess that's him closing to the finish line.
I absolutely love this. I look, smoking's bad for you, but 50-year-old Chinese men smoking while running, something about that hilarious. I don't know what it is.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he has this looking. Here's the thing, though. He is, I would say, incredibly fit.
Oh, yeah, he definitely stays
Despite
in
the
shape.
fact that he definitely is going to get some form of lung cancer, he is looking incredibly fit. So even though his lungs may not be tip-top shape, the rest of him, he's jacked. Like, he is the kind of thin fit I think Crendor wants to be.
That is definitely how I'd be. That is my thin fit right there.
Like, he is, every muscle in him is visible.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am now. I'm getting there.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's not, again, long-term health good for you at all.
Definitely not.
But this guy, I think, could do a few more races before he goes down.
100%.
Yeah.
And there's your big news story of the day.
All right, well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening, watching, however you're enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
Socials, we got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, all one word. All the podcasts are up over there. Go check them all out. Hit the bell, subscribe, be notified when these go up. Also, you can go to the youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. That's where all the animations are. Do the same thing over there. You can drop comments. Comment your favorite part in the last 10 years of our podcasting. There you go. That's a good comment interaction.
It's great. Fantastic.
Also, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all those places. And you can find us on our main stuff. We got youtube.com Jesse Cox, youtube.com/Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Twitch Jesse Cox, Twitch Crendor, TikTok Jesse Cox, TikTok Crendor, Cren Clips, Cox Clips, Warhammer Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor is taken, and there's probably some more, but that's it.
All right, that's it for us. See you next time. Bye, everybody. Wait,
You didn't even do it right.
I forgot. It's
Oh
been
my-
10 years. It's been 10 years.
Ah.